Hello guys, welcome to this latest live stream with me, Peter Sweden. Today I have quite an interesting subject to talk about. There has been some more censorship from some American Silicon Valley companies when it comes to free speech and so on. So we have a Swedish author that has actually been censored by the company called Kickstarter. So I'm going to go through all of this in this live stream and try to explain what's been going on. It's quite interesting, to say the least, how some of these companies, they all talk about, yeah, it's a private company and so on and so on. But really, some of this censorship is just getting insane. So let's get right into it then, shall we? I'm just going to wait a little bit until we get a few more viewers here on the live stream before I completely dive into all the details, because I want as many people as possible to see what's happening. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining the stream, and I hope you will enjoy this. I just did a stream yesterday, by the way, with Rouge Chewy. I don't know if you saw that one. If you haven't seen it, you should go and check it out. We had Nick Fuentes on there, we had Laura Loomer, we had Faith Goldie as well, and I was on guest there as well. So definitely go and check that live stream out. Very interesting video. We talked about trad thoughts was the subject of that stream. So that was a very fun stream with Rouge yesterday. So go make sure to check that out. Yeah, let's. Oh, we have Hyperion is starting this stream hard with a super chat donation. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. He writes, F them, the mother effers, he writes. Okay, I don't know who you're referring to, but I guess it's the Silicon Valley censorship. But he starts the day off with he kicks the day off hard here with a super chat donation. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into the subject of today's stream. By the way, all super chats will be read live on air. So if you have any questions or anything you want, any comments, all super chats will be read live on air. PayPal recently, more Silicon Valley censorship. PayPal recently banned me, so all super chats are highly appreciated. Yeah, so we have a Swedish author, and also I will add a politician. She is candidating for a political party for the Swedish election. Ann Heberlein. She is a Swedish author and candidating for a political party, the second biggest political party in Sweden at the moment, the Moderate Party. She's candidating for them in the upcoming election this year. So she's a politician and she's an author. Now, she is writing a book, a very, very important book in my mind. This might be one of the most important books we have seen from Sweden in a long time. She's writing a book on the rape statistics in Sweden. Now, the thing is, Sweden stopped collecting the rape statistics back in 2004. Well, the ethnicity, that will say. So the Swedish government, they do collect statistics for rapes in Sweden, but they do not collect the statistics on the rapist's ethnicity or so on. So you can only see, so if you look up the official statistics in Sweden, you only get to see that there has been so and so many rapes in Sweden during a certain period. Now, the statistics have been pretty bad for the last few years, to put it mildly. There's been a 34% increase of rapes in Sweden the last 10 years. And I mean, just from 2016 to 2017 alone, there was a 10% increase in rapes. So there was 7,230 rapes in Sweden last year, and that's not taking into account all the sexual assaults. So this is purely the rapes. When it comes to sexual assaults, that's up to something 22,000 something on top of the 7,000 rapes. And this figure is actually much worse than people think. I did a separate video on this. 7,230 rapes a year in Sweden. That means that in a lifetime, 1 in 8 Swedish women will unfortunately be raped in a lifetime. So that's a really bad statistics. Now, The thing is, in Sweden, we don't know exactly who is responsible for these attacks, because Sweden stopped collecting the ethnicity of rapists back in 2004. So since then, we don't know who has been committing these attacks. But this author and politician, she's writing a book on it, looking at the court documents. So she's going through the court documents themselves to write a book to find out who's actually doing all the raping in Sweden. Because the government is not reporting this information, so she has to do it herself, go through all the court documents and so on manually. Now, there has been some data leaked already from the Swedish government, which shows that 95% of people convicted of gang rape in Sweden were actually from another country. They were foreign born. So that's a very interesting statistic right there. Now, this woman, Ann Heberlein, she's writing the book, sorting this out once and for all, the ethnicity of rapists and the statistics and so on. But she needs a bit of money to be able to do that. So she started a Kickstarter campaign to get some money for it. Now, she got about $20,000 in just 2 days. So a very successful campaign. But that was until she was censored. Kickstarter decided to shut down her campaign after being mass reported by, I guess, leftist activists who do not want the truth getting out. So they censored her, basically. She got in $20,000 in just 2 days, very popular, but all of a sudden they shut down her campaign, shut it down. So, I mean, why are we letting this? I mean, this is an American company. You know, you have the First Amendment in America. These companies don't have to do this. It's, you know, some people might say it's a private company. It's their right to do it. Okay, yeah, but some of these services now are getting to the point of being a national, you know, they should be treated as a national utility. They shouldn't be allowed to censor like that. So she was censored there on that book. Now, this has actually been made quite a big deal of in Swedish media, which has surprised me. I guess she has some contacts within the journalist industry in Sweden. So it's gotten some traction in Sweden right now. And many people are actually quite upset because, you know, they just want the truth about the statistics. You know, it's nothing strange. It's something everyone should be allowed to see in a democracy. So, so her book, her campaign was cancelled by Kickstarter, and who knows why. They, as far as I understand, Kickstarter haven't said why they suspended her campaign yet, but methinks it has something to do with her going to tell the truth about the rape crisis in Sweden, because, you know, the rape crisis in Sweden is really bad, and for some reason the left don't want the truth to get out about it. You know, it's really sad to see. You know, that's the thing that gets me. The left, many of the left are feminists, but when the rapists, when attackers seem to be someone, you know, someone in a special, you know, when it's inconvenient, it seems like they just really don't care about the women's rights not to be raped anymore. All of a sudden that completely goes out the window, and they completely ignore it, and they don't care about women's rights anymore at all. You know, I'm going to say I am a women's rights champion, even if I do say so myself. I believe in women's rights not to be raped. I believe women, you know, that's a basic human right. But some of these feminists, they seem to completely ignore it when some of these things become very inconvenient for them, shall we say. So, yeah, I mean, so that's what's happened. Her crowdfunding was cancelled. Now she has managed to get up a alternative crowdfunding. I have actually been in contact with her myself and recommended her to get on Maker Support, which is a free speech alternative. Now, I myself was banned by PayPal, another Silicon Valley company. So and I'm one of the few guys reporting the truth about what's happening in Sweden, and I got banned by PayPal. So it kind of seems like some of these people don't want the truth about Sweden to get out because it harms, well, it goes against their narrative. So I myself was banned by PayPal. This other Swedish woman trying to tell the truth about Sweden, she was banned by Kickstarter. We kind of see a trend here. But luckily, there are free speech alternatives like Maker Support. So after I was banned on PayPal, I set up Maker Support account, which is a free speech alternative to PayPal. It's actually very good. They are a combination of both Patreon and PayPal. So people can either do a one-time donation, or they can do monthly, or they can support people monthly. Yeah, I'm on there as well on Maker Support. If you want to support my work, I have the link in the description below here. So anything is highly appreciated. Since PayPal banned me, anything is highly appreciated. Or the super chat in the YouTube stream here as well. Anything, all comments, all super chats will be read live on air, and you get the chance to support me as well. So anything is highly appreciated. Yeah, I'll say I'm very thankful for Maker Support. They only have one rule, and that is the American First Amendment. So I definitely recommend everyone to check them out. And I mean, there's many other content creators on there as well. Dave Cullen from Computing Forever, and many other people are on there as well. And it's also kind of a social media. People can post there as well. So I definitely recommend everyone getting an account at Maker Support. So I'm going to give a big shout out to them. Yeah, let's. I'm just, and the thing is, who has reported this? I mean, the thing is, in Sweden as well, one thing that came to my mind is Swedish Facebook has been quite interesting as well when it comes to censoring. It's actually been found that Swedish Facebook has been working together with far left activists in Sweden, especially a group called Jag är här, which is actually funded by, partly funded by a group called Expo, which in turn has been partly funded by George Soros. So we have the George Soros connection there as well. And they've actually been working together with Facebook in Sweden to kind of shut down people with opinions they don't like. And it's actually happened to even politicians in Sweden. Even politicians for the Center Party in Sweden has been banned on Facebook. Big shout out here to Fritzi Schrödinger in the super chat. Thank you so much. He writes, hi Peter, I live in Malmö in Skåne, and I wish that you would make a community Discord for your followers fan base. You can all debate through voice and text. Thank you so much for the super chat there. I haven't used Discord before. I have heard of it. I'll have to go and look it up. Thank you so much for the advice there, and thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, man. And I'm going to look up Discord and see if we can start something up there, because I haven't seen too much in the Discord what that is. I believe it's some kind of voice chat, I believe. So I'll definitely have to go and look that up. Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll definitely look that up for you. Yeah, just reading a little bit of your live chat here. Let's see. Yeah. Lewis says, why would you use Facebook anyway? Yeah, no, Facebook is quite good for reaching out to people, but the Swedish Facebook has been working together with a far left group called Jag är här, which is basically a refugee activist group sponsored in part by Soros. Yeah. By the way, anyone in the live chat or Fritzi, if you know how to work Discord, please let me know, because I have never been on Discord before. I have heard of it, but I'll definitely have to look up it and see if we can get something up there. Yeah, let's see. Finnish guy says, thoughts on the Nordic resistance movement. Yeah, no, I'm not a supporter of the Nordic resistance movement. They are a National Socialist or Nazi group, and that's not the ideology that I like. So I'm not a supporter of them. And that's the thing. Because in Sweden, thanks for bringing that up. That's the thing I wanted to say. In Sweden, there is something called opinion corridor, political correctness, Overton window, if you will. So you can say things within a certain frame, but if you go outside it, you get shut down, cut down. And the thing is, when this happens, when people try and shut down free speech, the thing that happens is that it is the moderate voices that will be silenced, and that gives that. Well, if they try and shut down free speech, moderate voices will be silenced, and then more extreme voices will rise up and take its place. And that's kind of what's happening in Sweden a bit with the Nordic resistance movement and so on, because it's not that they're shutting down free speech as such, but they make it socially unacceptable to say certain things. So that means more moderate people won't say certain things, and then the more extreme people come up and say those things instead. And that's how you get a rise of that's how you get a rise of, well, I mean, that's basically how Hitler came to power back in the day. So that's the kind of thing you want to avoid. That's why you have to have a full free speech for everyone. Everyone has to be allowed to have any opinion and have any free speech, as long as it's not physically threatening anyone with violence. So it's not that they're shut. It's not that moderate voices are shut down as such, but they are afraid to speak out. So yeah. Daniel Berry writes in live chat that there's minds.com. Yeah, I have a Minds account. I am on Minds, minds.com/Peter Sweden. So if you want to follow me in Minds, I am on Minds as well. It's a good social media free speech alternative. So it's kind of like Facebook. They got quite a good website, if you ask me. Yeah, and talking about free speech, one thing that the Swedish government is actually doing now before the election, we have the elections coming up here in 2018, and I will be doing a massive live stream on election night in Sweden. That's something you don't want to miss. I'm going to have a massive election party, a massive election night live stream. So that's something you don't want to miss. The upcoming elections are coming in Sweden, and the Swedish government is creating a new state department that's going to deal with psychological warfare and to try and stop fake news, so-called. And who are they working with? Well, they are teaming up the Swedish state broadcaster and all of the big mainstream media in Sweden, all teaming up to allegedly try and stop fake news on Google and on social media. Yeah, I kind of think that this thing I want to try and stop is a alternative viewpoint and not fake news. They want to try and stop the wrong people getting elected in the election. That's the kind of what I feel. It's the Ministry of Truth, very much. 1984. In 2014 that was the last election in 2014 in Sweden, and there's a far left group called Expo, and guess what happened in 2014? It has actually recently revealed that this group Expo received a substantial amount of money from George Soros Foundation Open Society. They actually received a substantial amount of money in donation from George Soros' organization in order to spread propaganda and disinformation against the nationalist Swedish Democrat Party in 2014. They talk about the Russians hacking the elections all the time, but that's bullshit. The real election hacking that's going on is by George Soros. That is the real election hacking going on. Why isn't the mainstream media all over it? George Soros spending money to spread disinformation, and he's doing that in all kinds of different countries. He's known for these color revolutions, regime changes. So Why aren't they investigating George Soros for election hacking? Hmm? Well, it's because the mainstream media is very much on the same side, I guess. So yeah, do we have any questions here in the live chat? All super chat questions will be read out loud, and if you have any good other questions, I might take them as well. I'm going to try and wrap this up. I have another video to make tonight as well. So yeah, let me know in the live chat if you have any questions. All super chat questions will be read, and I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, I think. Mies asks if I've been following the Finnish presidential elections a little bit. I've been following the elections a little bit. It's there is a good candidate, it seems, from the Finns party. She's kind of Finland's Trump. She wants to yeah, she's not a big fan of the EU and so on. Someone in the live chat wants me to play on the keyboard. Should I? Should I play the keyboard live? Joe May says he'll donate crypto soon. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know if you have seen, I have my Bitcoin addresses on some of my other videos. I'll try and post it if I can post it here if you want as well in the live chat. If you want to donate crypto, it's highly appreciated. Thank you so much, man. Let me just find the, hang on, just give me a second. Yeah, I'm posting it in the live chat here. Here are my cryptocurrency addresses. In case you want to support me out on cryptocurrency. Thank you so much. Okay, it seems like everyone in the live chat wants me to play the keyboard. Yeah, everyone in the live chat wants me to play the keyboard. So I'll play a little bit of keyboard then live. It's always handy to have a keyboard. You know, you can mix some music for videos. Some of the music I do on my videos I actually mix myself. So I kind of do everything myself in my videos. I film, I record myself. Here's the camera I use, by the way. If you wonder my setup, I use a Sony camera. Sony is the best. I do everything myself in my videos. I film myself with the camera. I edit myself, and I sometimes even do the music myself. So everyone in the live chat wants me to play a little bit of keyboard live, so I'll do it to please you guys. I just hope it's a way. I just hope you can hear it in the microphone. Let's see. Yeah, I hope that was good enough for you. If you wanted me to play some more, I might do it. That wasn't my best, but yeah. Thank you so much again for Fritz Schrödinger for a super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. He says he wants me to check my Twitter, so I'll do that. People are wondering about the Swedish Democrat Party. Yeah, the Swedish Democrats are likely going to do quite well in elections, it seems, according to the polls. Maybe, I don't think they will win, maybe second place. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see the elections coming up. So yeah. Just reading some more of your live chats here. Actually, I might put up some. Let's see. I'm just gonna put up something more for you guys, playing in the background while we finish this stream. Yeah, so we'll finish this stream with some alt ballad in the background. It's just gonna, it's just a keyboard kind of standard accompaniment. So I'm just gonna have that on. It's a bit boring, but yeah. So I think we are gonna wrap this stream up pretty soon. I'll play a bit of keyboard for you. People are asking me if I have a Steemit account. No, I haven't. I have signed up for Steemit, but I haven't gotten to doing it and putting up an account as of yet. So I'll have to look into Steemit. Steemit looks like a very interesting account. So very interesting platform. It looks quite good. So I'm gonna have to look into it more. But I am not on there as at the moment. Adam asks how my parents' dog is doing. Yeah, he survived, thank to God, and he is doing fine now. So the scumbag who tried to poison him failed, and yeah. Adam Scott says that he still has AIDS from my bicep shot. In the previous stream. In the previous stream, I showed my bicep on live air, and apparently he thinks I need to go to a bit more gym. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of gym, so I'm just gonna turn this off. Yeah, we don't know who tried to poison the dog, by the way. I guess it's some kind of far left person. Yeah, it was very sad. But anyway, it's glad that he's doing fine. PH Tiff asks why I look high. Yeah, I don't look high, but my eyes are sometimes a bit red because here in Norway it's very cold, and very dry weather makes my eyes irritated and red. Yeah. So no, I don't take anything. I don't even drink. I'm very trad. So no, nothing like that at all. Robert says better music, please. He's complaining of my music. Yeah, go and check out all my other videos. I play some music on there. I have to concentrate when I do the music. Cannot. It's too much pressure when there's a live stream, trying to play music. Too much pressure. One thing I'd like to bring up before we finish as well. I don't know how many of you covered when I was in the UK, I covered the Justice for Chelsea marches that were going on in Sunderland. I don't know how many of you guys remember that, but I have some interesting news regarding that's been happening. The guy that was so in case you don't know, there's a girl in the British city of Sunderland called Chelsea. She was gang raped by some asylum seekers, and the police they didn't do anything with the case. I think they didn't do anything with it. And then what happened? Her brother went to confront the guys, and he got 4 months prison for that. Then there was some guys that organized protests and marches in the city, and they were quite big. They were quite big. We had several, maybe 400 or 500 people at one point, and I was there reporting on it. And so they organized these marches several times, and Tommy Robinson was there as well. He even spoke at some of the marches. Guess what happened? Well, the guy who organized the marches and the protest at the Justice for Chelsea, he has now been arrested and is in court for hate speech. His speeches, where he was talking about how Chelsea got gang raped, has now, the guy who organized the marches has been arrested and is in court now for hate speech. So this really boggles my mind. A woman gets raped, gets gang raped by asylum seekers, and when her brother goes to confront them, he gets in prison, 4 months prison. And then when people organize protest marches to stop it, or to raise awareness, the guy who organized the protests gets arrested and is now in court for hate speech. It really feels to me like it's upside down world. You know, it really feels like it's upside down world. And not only that, not only was the guy who organized the protest arrested, but there was a lady as well who recorded his speeches. So they had a protest, and this guy who organized the protest, he was doing speeches during the protest, and there was this lady who recorded his speeches. She actually got in trouble with the police as well for recording his speech, and she was given a caution by the police. I am not kidding you. I was there as well, and I also, well, I was there reporting on the march. I didn't record his speech as such. I was just recording everything, reporting on everything that was happening there in a journalistic, you know, in the interest of journalism. People have to be allowed to report on an event, on a protest, in a journalistic interest without getting arrested. I mean, what on earth, where's the freedom of the press? I mean, that really boggles my mind. You know, cannot journalists even cover protests anymore without being cautioned by the police? What's going on? What's going on? Big shout out here to Mr. Svenne for the super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. And it helps me keep going after PayPal banned my account. Thank you so much. All super chats will be read live. Yeah. That really boggles my mind. What's happening there with the Justice for Chelsea thing? And I mean, as I said, Tommy Robinson was there, and the Rebel TV was supported a campaign to help Chelsea. It's really, I really can't understand what's going on with that. And I also believe Jada Fransen from one of the political parties was there speaking as well, and she got arrested too. I remember. So yeah, it was really interesting stuff happening there. Joe May says, get into cryptocurrency. I am into cryptocurrency. Since PayPal banned me, I have started doing cryptocurrency. I have Bitcoin addresses and so on. So I am doing cryptocurrency now, if you want to support me with that as well. It's been interesting getting into it. I think it has huge potential with cryptocurrency. Finnish guy asks, thoughts on Richard Spencer? I'm not a fan. I think his ideas of, you know, Richard Spencer doesn't understand. He thinks that, well, he's a white nationalist, and the thing he doesn't understand is that white nationalism is saying no. It's no. You know, in Europe, people don't think about themselves as white. In Europe, people think about themselves as British or Swedish or Norwegian. They don't think of themselves as white as such. That's secondary. So, real naturalism is caring about your country, Norwegian, Swedish, German, British. If you ask a Norwegian person, here's the thing: if you ask many of you might not know this, but many in Norway hate Germans. Well, almost all Norwegians, they hate the Germans with a passion. After the war, Germans, quite a few German soldiers that got kids with Norwegian girls, and after the war, these children who had German fathers and Norwegian mothers, they are known as the German kids in Norway, and they were harassed and bullied and abused quite a lot after the war because they had German parents. The Norwegians really hate the Germans with a passion. So they don't look at it as a race. They look at it as a nationality. They hate and the Norwegians don't particularly like the British that well either. The British did help Norway during the war, but in the beginning of the war, Britain was actually quite close to attacking Norway first. So the Norwegians, they are a bit so-so with the British. Swedish people, however, Swedish people, they are very good friends with the Germans. Basically, the Swedish people and German people are very similar people ethnically. They get they get on very well together. But the funny thing is, in the east of Norway, close to the Swedish border, the Norwegians there, they hate the Swedish people. They really hate the Swedish people. So it's different in Europe, And the British people, one thing I've experienced, the British people, they really hate the Polish people and the Romanian people. So in Europe, you kind of see different nationalities hating on other different nationalities. It's not a race. They're white. They're all white, but they still hate them, which is, stupid. I don't think you should hate anyone, but that's how it is in Europe, unfortunately. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just reading through some of your live chat here. Let's see. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm just going through some of your I think we're going to wrap this live stream up here pretty soon. If you don't have any more questions here, we are going to wrap this up, I think. Yeah, Dave asks here, the British hate the Polish. Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I get. The British people are very xenophobic. They really have a hate for foreigners. Even I'm just going to tell you something. Even I, as a Swedish guy, I kind of experienced anti-Swedish hate when I lived in the UK. Some English people really didn't like me because I was Swedish. I'm not kidding you. It's quite funny because Swedish people, they're kind of more white, if you will, than British people. But I still got many British people being racist towards me for being Swedish. I had one British person told me that we don't want you here. You're Swedish. Go back home. I'm not kidding you. I had British people being pretty racist towards me because I'm Swedish. I don't really care, but it was funny to see. yeah, I think we had quite a good stream here, and I think we're gonna wrap this up here now. So I'll put on some piano before we finish. Before we finish this, let's see if I can find anything good. Yeah, we're gonna have some music on in the background before we finish. This is quite a good keyboard, by the way. If you need a good keyboard, this Yamaha is very good. You can do all kinds of things with it. It's definitely one of my favorite keyboards. The Yamaha is better than Kronos or many of the other ones. Ben asks what happened to the streams with Red Pill Phil. Yeah, I haven't had time to do any streams with him as of late. I'm gonna try and get him back on, especially if you want to see him. Press 1 if you want to see more of Red Pill Phil in live streams. So press 1 in the live chat if you want to see more Red Pill Phil live streams. Doug says, thank you so much for being an Australian eye-opener for us in the US. Well, you're welcome. That's why I'm doing this, to help get the truth out there about what's happening. So I'm glad you appreciate it. Well, we get quite a few ones here in the chat, I see, wanting Red Pill Phil. Deirdre Kelly asks, any politics in my future? Maybe. Maybe. I did attend a meeting with the Norwegian migration minister Sylvi Listhaug here in Norway recently. And I had quite a good, some good talks, shall we say. I actually spoke with several politicians who are in the Norwegian parliament. So I actually have some good contact with some politicians in the Norwegian parliament. So I might have a look into something with politics. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Henry Lindemann says subscribed. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that, and hit the notification bell as well. I think it's here somewhere beside the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notifications whenever live streams come out or whenever new videos come out. That's really important, so make sure to hit that, and hit the like button on this video as well. That gives this video more views. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and then I think we'll wrap this up. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you later.